great.
Okay, family. So I just wanted to put a little information out here as far as this immigration thing, because I heard some comments. I heard them by like Dr. Boyce Watkins and just, a couple of statements here and there I done read on social media. And it's like some black folks feel as if immigration is a topic that really doesn't apply to them, as well as they think those that it applies to Mexicans, that's a situation that they need to get out of, um, the same way we need to get out of situations that we in. So now I wouldn't really dispute that, but I just wanted to share some information that may change the perspective of illegal immigrants and when people say that. So first of all, I wanted to just ask like legal, when that term is being used, an illegal alien or illegal immigration. I really don't think people thinking about the fact that the people or the entity that's determining what is illegal um, shouldn't be. And an example I can give would be, I like to ask questions because I think sometimes in asking a question, though I may think I know the answer, it gives the person an opportunity to interject their thoughts, which may, sharpen my thoughts. So I'm posing a question. Now, can a child molester determine what's legal? I just want to ask y'all that. Like, somebody if they're a child molester, can they tell you what's legal and what's illegal? Now, of course, they can tell you about what the law say, but can they be a person who determines what's legal and illegal? I mean, some people may say yeah, but me personally, no. And I'm saying that to say like, just ask yourself again. I'm posing questions. Now, the same people that's determining what's legal, these are the same people who exiled, imprisoned, investigated, monitored, and or assassinated every black leader that worked to improve the conditions of black people. So now, and that's over the last 100 years or so. Now, these the same people who determine that being incarcerated for 3 to 5 years for child molestation is reasonable. Now, these the same people who, since the 1940s, sent over $300 million annually of U.S. taxpayer dollars to Israel, a country who, is guilty of all type of human rights. Now, the same people who can never seem to convict a police officer of killing a black person, these the ones that's telling you what's legal. Now, I mean, and I'm only saying that to say a lot of times some black folks, um, they end up saying that these Mexicans shouldn't be coming here because they're illegally trying to enter the country. Their argument is based on the determinations of pedophiles and molesters and thieves and murderers. I mean that's what the vote then got people. I mean that's who in office. And so those same people they're telling you that these Mexicans are illegal. Now, let me just pose another question. Is somebody that's, opposed to illegal immigrants coming into the country, can can somebody um, who thinks like that, can you name one illegal alien responsible for the poisoning of a city's water supply with lead. Like, can you name one illegal alien that owns a gun manufacturer or that sells alcohol or prescription pills? I mean, can you name one illegal alien that has contributed to the disproportionate rate of infants dying before the age of 1 in comparison to white infants? And I'm saying the disproportional rates between African American babies and Caucasian babies. So, like, as an illegal alien contributed to that? Um, just, I mean, name one illegal alien that owns um, a private prison. Now, see, what's gonna be funny about that for those who really peeping, an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien. Let me bring this little side thought in for those that know something about law. Whenever has it been recorded that the early settlers, I guess that's the term they go by, European settlers of America, tried to be um, a citizen to the country that they had arrived at? I mean, it was Indians there. Like, so when did they ever show that they were trying to become part of that or part of this government that was in place before 1776? Because I mean, now, like, if we talking about aliens and the definition of alien, when we talking about an illegal stance, I mean, y'all can look that up. But to the point though, these individuals that's determining who are illegal immigrants are descendants of the original illegal immigrants to this country. So, like, and then for them to turn around and label another group an illegal immigrant or illegal alien, the irony. So now, let me make a quick point too, family, like, because one thing that's getting overlooked when you hear people talking about this illegal immigration, it's like, hey man, you talking about these Mexicans, you know, and then it's almost as if um I don't know, it's almost ridiculous. Like when you mention these kids are being separated from their family, you will have somebody that'll say, well, black folks is getting their kids been separated from their family for years and ain't nobody saying anything. Like that thought right there, like that's kind of counterproductive, family. And the reason I'm saying that is because, for one, black folks don't need no other groups to speak out for them. Like we don't need no Mexican Americans, no Spanish Americans, uh, no Russians, Germans, Jews. We don't need them to speak for us. We can do that for ourselves. So to be saying, you know, something along the lines of, as they don't speak out for black families when their kids are, man, we don't need them to. I mean, okay, if they do, good. If they don't, and even more importantly, regardless to what they do, what's that got to do with what me and you do? Like, if I see some children being separated from their family, regardless to if it's a Mexican or not, um, I'm gonna see a problem with that. And I would think if those that say they in a conscious community or in a position of leadership to the black community, I would think the pursuit of trying to be right is the goal. So regardless of, you can point out maybe some Mexicans or something that hadn't spoken out against, some injustices that black folks done went through. All right, all right, so what? That ain't, black folks are the people who taught the world humanity. So I mean, that's historically proven. So you could take that for what it is, and then I would think, regardless to who is ever a victim of this injustice, especially when we're talking about a child, I mean, to speak out against it isn't um not speaking out against what you or your race is going through. I mean, you just acknowledging a tragedy that's occurring, and it's occurring at the hands of the same system that is putting all types of tragedy and terror in the black community. So it's like, I really don't see the point of that, Brother Watkins. I mean, I understand, like, but I really don't see the point in it. If we trying to be right, we trying to do right. I mean, we got too many elders that's done left. Sister Cress Wilson, she had told us, like, you know, we supposed to replace this system with a system of justice and help the people who need the most help. So, like, regardless to, if you find, a Mexican that may not say something about a struggle we going through, and that ain't got nothing to do with their kids. And also, a fact that is getting overlooked is these kids that's coming up separated from their parents. A lot of those are unaccounted for. And because I know how this system works, and we know that it's pedophiles and molesters in powerful positions, man, why am I not to think that some of these children that's now separated from their family are in the hands of some foolishness? I mean, and am I not supposed to care about that because that child may not have come from a place that my ancestors came from, or because his hue is a little lighter than mine? Like, that's ridiculous. And then on top of that, if I was to take that stance, the beast that's eating these children continues to keep getting fat. So, you know, I really don't understand, some of the angles that people are taking. And then for those that decided to look into it just a little bit, they would see, like, okay, well, I'm seeing on TV that they keep showing this border and this wall and these people, this family. Right then, for those that question everything, they should have knew, like, hold on, if the media is pointing this way, it's something going on besides what they showing. So because they showing you a lot of Mexican people trying to come across the border, man, that don't necessarily mean that's what it is. Now let me read this to you real quick. This is from the Center for Migration Policy. It's a quote. I'll post a link up here. But it says, for the first time, non-Mexicans are the majority of people crossing the border. More than 3 million black immigrants, for example, are from the Caribbean or Northern and Sub-Saharan Africa. According to a 2016 Los Angeles Times article, the biggest number of this new wave of international migrants are from Haiti. More than 5,000 Haitians have shown up at California ports of entry without visas and been deemed inadmissible since October 2015, a huge increase over the 336 who arrived the previous fiscal year. So now, a lot of people get this picture in their mind like, okay, well, these is Mexicans trying to get across this border. But nah, a lot of this is black folks trying to get in. And then when they say immigration and you see it in Europe, man, they speaking because they don't want their country browning up. So yeah, okay, true indeed. They want to stop Mexicans from getting in, but don't forget about those 3 million black immigrants that's coming through those borders. That's coming from Haiti, like they said, sub-Saharan Africa, and from the Caribbean. Like don't forget those people. So when you end up saying something like, illegal immigration, man, I don't care about that. When you say that, you really don't understand that that's a statement based on the perception you've been given by watching TV. And then a lot of times the responses that people are giving, that's a clear case of them being manipulated by the media, because the media show you individuals trying to cross a border that's Mexican, and then we'll see an outrage from white people, but then the next night or on the same broadcast, they'll show um, a young man being shot by the police or killed, and then you won't see the same outrage from the same panel. And a lot of people, they get upset and they want to point that out. But once again, we don't need their outrage. I mean, like it's enough independent media out here. Like if you want to say something or you want to share some information that's going to uplift the people watching it, inform them, I mean, you can do that. Like, so, I was hearing a brother like in his tirade kind of complaining about, I think, Rachel Maddow. Like, man, I don't even watch them. Like, so I couldn't tell you what ignorant shit come up out of their mouth. Like, because that's not gonna really get us in a situation of removing this system of racism or preparing us to replace it with a system of justice. So, I just wanted to share some thoughts as far as that immigration thing, and it's not just affecting Mexicans. It's Afro Cubans and Afro Bolivians. You know, it's more than what they're gonna show you. But then when you hear the response by Trump and the people who handle him, like we got to put up a border, and man, because they understand what's going on. Like this is a prison, and if the population rate in the prison gets too large, I mean, it's subject for anarchy. And if that certain population or that prison is not looking like you know, people get worried. So, but I just wanted to share that thought. I ain't gonna take up a whole bunch of time. I'll share the links, that I kind of mentioned, and then I'm gonna attach some other little links to this so you can see, like, when they talk about illegal immigration, um, it's a lot of black folks trying to get in. And then once again, like I gave you that, that little stat from that. Let me see where it's at. Uh, the Center for Migration Policy. So they saying for the first time, non-Mexicans are the majority of people crossing the border. More than 3 million black immigrants, for example, are from the Caribbean or northern and sub-Saharan Africa. So a lot of people, like I said, you won't see um, videos of these sub-Saharan Africans, these Haitians. You won't see them in detention centers the same way they showing um, these Mexicans, like because they don't want to draw attention to how many people of my complexion and my hue is coming into the country. Like they don't want to really put that out there, but that's what it is, because that also end up removing that whole little, I don't know, that little myth of who's a minority and who's a majority. So but that's just some of my thoughts, family, that I just wanted to give on this immigration. So you know that's about it. All right, leave a comment, Tell me what maybe you can answer one of those questions I was given. I know they was, they kind of rhetorical, but seriously, like if you go to try to name in which an illegal immigrant that's poisoned the city's water supply, I mean, you know who you're gonna point to be honest, like for real, if you really actually listen to it and think about it, like, well, wait a minute, who's an illegal immigrant? Because we already know the history. So we know who are the descendants of illegal immigrants, and then who are the ones that's actually manufacturing guns and alcohol and prescription pills. Like who's doing that? Like so, I'm not really too concerned about some Mexican brothers coming over. I mean, some of them, I understand the criminal element follows any poverty-stricken people. So I'm not about to act like this MS-13, I think they call, like, yeah, they probably is a problem and they probably have killed some innocent black people, so they need to be dealt with. But, those are victims of the system of racism, white supremacy. I mean, regardless to how you look at it, because a lot of these countries that these people leaving from, this country destabilized them. I mean, we already know what this country did as far as towards Haiti. I mean, we can go all the way back to the 1800s on that, 1700s. So, you know, a lot of these people that's trying to come here, they coming from countries that this United States then destabilized and, put puppet rulers in. And, you know, for those that know history, you know what I'm talking about. So, but all right, anyway, family, that's it. I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. But thanks for the opportunity to speak to y'all, share a thought, and like I said, leave a comment. And I'll be back at y'all in a minute with something informative. All right, peace.